Okay, welcome everyone. Tonight we are playing the second session of our Feathers run. Feathers is a game about um, fallen angels who are getting used to life on Earth. So yeah, last week we had an interesting time of it. A lot of things going on. My name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. Tonight I'm going to be playing Dawn, the rebel, pronouns she, her. So yeah, Dawn is, I think, slowly trying to, or slowly at least getting drawn into the other angels' affairs and maybe realizing that her judgments previously were, not entirely fair. So yeah, I guess we'll see what she gets up to this week. So I guess let's do intros in character keeper order. I've already gone, obviously.
Yeah. Hi, my name is David. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Cass, who is in the Lover playbook. Cass uses they or he pronouns predominantly. Cass is an angel who is relatively newly arrived, only recently fallen, still getting used to the separation from the host and adjusting to life uh, amongst the mortals. They are looking for love and feel wanted amongst the human throng. So yeah, that's who I'll be playing tonight.
Hi, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Penny, she, her pronouns, who is the dancer. She's been on Earth for a little while now, probably 150 years, and she has a belief that the divine can be found in action and kind of the ecstasy of falling into like dance, performance, becoming one with a performance. And she has a guilt that she's trying to stave off, that maybe she's just wrong in that perhaps that isn't true, and that she's been basically preaching a falsehood to the flock. But at the moment, she's still plugging away, trying to outrun that guilt.
My name's Matt. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Lucas, who uses the same. Lucas is the dreamer. Lucas is someone who cares a lot about community, and I think was trying to cultivate that in alignment with their own vision before they fell, and they pushed too hard, and they got so far, and in the end it didn't matter, and fell very hard, and is kind of trying to rebuild some semblance of that dream and that vision in a way that is more in line with their environment surroundings, that respects the people that are around them, instead of just trying to impose their dreams upon reality. So, and yeah, that's everything.
Okay, great. I think the scene we kind of wrapped up with last week was between Penny and Cass, right? Where they were, it was the makeover scene, right? For this Stephanie, the witchy girl Penny was crushing on. So I don't know. Does it make sense to dive into that, or to maybe fast forward and deal with the aftermath? I don't know what you feel like, Tyler.
You had the two of you taking some sort of substance and then and then dancing around the room and joining hands and floating into the air and all that business. I remember, right? Is that
Yep.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
cool?
What you think, David? I almost feel like that we would have made sort of a night of it, enjoying, being fucked up and listening to music and all that. I probably wouldn't have gone back to try and find her. I think I almost see a fast forward to something else.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
One thought that I do have is that we are in a college town near the end of summer, and if this is sort of the thing that people often take before a big night, people are interested in seeing on screen, then we could have a big throwdown at a park or something, or a big patio event somewhere or something like that. But I'm also totally happy to fast forward and keep on the personal things. Just I'm angling towards having some bigger events and some things like that. Just thinking about where that could come in.
Sorry, Matt, I think your audio is cutting out a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, we lost you right there at the end.
Give me a moment.
It seems like it might be like a hardware issue with the wire.
Yeah, I think I had the wrong
There
mic
you go.
selected.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling.
No, I do think that it probably. I like the more intimate idea that Cass and I probably held in that evening, but I wouldn't mind the idea that, say, where we sort of end up on this idea of getting together to go out and party sometime soon in the attempt to find her. How does that feel to you, David?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. So do we want to go to that, or what do we want to go to? Everybody in general.
Would that be a different night? Or
That'd be a different night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Dawn, I think we have dropped some breadcrumbs for this issue with Marcus. So I think she would want to meet up with him again, maybe the next day or something, just to find out exactly what's going on. So I wouldn't mind doing that as well.
Yeah. If you'd want like two people in a scene, we could do that after the dinner with the widow, and then like if Lucas would come along, I think Lucas would be interested in meeting like a queer elder, someone who knows community, how to cultivate people around them, make them feel good, uplift them, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So maybe it's maybe something both Dawn and Lucas could do together if Marcus is dropping over to Vera's place.
Yeah, or we could go out after the dinner too to meet with Marcus wherever.
Yeah,
Marcus maybe. What do we know about Marcus other than?
We know nothing about Marcus except he is pissed off.
Right, pissed
about something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the prompt in my playbook is the queer elder who's not going to let this happen again. But yeah, all we know apart from that is that I guess he knows Vera and that she knows he's upset about something. So yeah, I mean, if we do Penny and Cass's scene first.
Okay. having us go like the next evening doing something,
Yeah, I think.
and then have the two of y'all kind of in parallel going to see if you could find Marcus?
Yeah, I think that works.
Okay. All right.
What do you think though? I don't know about that. Maybe if they're going out for a party scene, that it might be a nice time for all of our characters to be involved in that like bigger set piece, sort of. Not to throw things off.
Yeah, so maybe we can have the kind of all of us in the scene, and then obviously like Cass and Penny have the secret mission to find Stephanie. So they got their own kind of spin-off scene out of the party as well.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we it would make sense to do Marcus first, and then we sort of plant the seeds of whatever the conflict is, and then we can go into the more dramatic scene? Does that?
Okay. Yeah.
Not to sorry, not to push things.
No, let's do it that way, I think. So we say this is like the next day, maybe lunchtime or something. Dawn has tracked down Marcus, and if Lucas wants to come along, then they're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be a little begrudging on Dawn's part.
Maybe a little. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think Marcus does? Or see, like sitting out in the park, enjoying his lunch, or is he like taking a break from a job? Or
yeah, that's a great prompt. Alder. It's got to be a fun job, or maybe it's less so.
Let's see. We could look toward the situations to see where we want to have that hit, I suppose, to deal with him. Would that be something like Vibrant Flock? And that way it would give, let's see, Matt, you've got that right now. So somebody could pick that up to deal with him, or it could be handmade deities having something to do with where he is. And that would have you, David, hop in with some sort of concept so that we can at least get a frame up of where y'all are encountering. I don't think my roost would, but of course we can switch around things as we go as well.
Yeah, I was thinking Vibrant Flock probably sounds the most fitting.
Yeah, I think so.
And we could be in the park. Maybe there's like children playing, community vibe, sort of, while we have the scene in the background.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think maybe Marcus is like, sitting on the bench, eating his lunch, maybe just taking in the atmosphere, and Dawn appears at his shoulder, or appears right in front of him, suddenly blocking out the light.
David, you want to take over the
sure
situation?
thing? Yeah. I think Marcus starts a little at your appearance and says, "Dear God, girl, you'll give me a heart attack constantly popping up like that. What is it? What are you doing here today?" Interrupting my lunch, he'll kind of wave like half a sandwich at you in mostly playful anger.
I was over at Vera's last night for her, whatever it is.
Oh, yes, filling all those kids' heads with all that supernatural mumbo jumbo.
Well, I mean, Yeah.
Lucas just looks a little downcast, hasn't even introduced themselves yet, and he's kind of like staying to the outside of the conversation. Very shy.
She mentioned you were upset about something.
Well, when you get to my age, dear, you always find something to be upset about. But
Know that feeling.
I just does anyone have? I'm not really like, I'm not sure quite what the source of all of this is, so I'm not really. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what was discussed in that last scene that we had about this. I don't really know where.
I'll admit, I threw breadcrumbs out with the concept we were seeing gentrification in our kind of artsy area, with the people coming into the bar and having our queer elder be someone, in my mind, who was protesting against that.
That sounds
that I
legitimate.
admit is what I was throwing out, but that is entirely, I think, in my little silly head at the time.
No, that's cool. I like that. That's good. Yeah. So I just couldn't remember if something specific had been mentioned last time or not. So I just wanted to get clarify on that. That's cool.
So maybe some big signage has been put up on an old important establishment saying there's, you know, condo plans and everything, realtor names and all that grossness.
Yes, they're but particularly what's got my spleen up today is this week is they're planning on tearing down the old Queen Mary and I don't know, building some god awful new apartment block or similar there.
That's a nice building, but has anyone really paid much attention to it over the years?
Just sad old queens like myself these days, dear. It's first bar in this little town to start serving my type, if you know what I mean.
I guess it's might be important. So, what are you going to do about it? Besides bellyache to me.
Well, I've been going along to planning meetings and the like, but you know what those are like. Lots of talk and fuss, but nothing ever really happens there.
And can't you, object in your classic fire and brimstone manner that I know and love?
I've done plenty of that, but you know how it is. It's money talks and all that.
Why don't we make a new Queen Mary? And Lucas kind of steps into the conversation, sort of. Not like build another building, but recreate what was there, the feeling of it, somewhere else.
I suppose we could. I'd like to fight for the old place, but honestly, I don't know how much fight I have left in me these days. And, well, I know we can't always stand in the way of progress, but maybe you're right. Maybe we should look to something something new, even if we can't, maybe even if we can save the old.
Lucas sort of went. Sorry. Yeah, Lucas just winces and realizes that they've probably trod on Marcus's feelings a little bit, like saying, "Oh, let's just do it somewhere else." It's like, no, that's a place that has a lot of important meaning. So I think they look to Dawn for the answer and just kind of cringe a little bit.
Yeah. So on the maybe simultaneously with Lucas's kind of bashful glance at her, Dawn is kind of frowning at Marcus and like, oh, so it mustn't be that important. So if you can just recreate the magic just like that.
Well, it's like all these things. The place has a lot of memories, but it was always the people that made it. And there's, as I say, few enough left of us now as remember it. But I do not know what can really be done to stop it at this stage.
Well, I'm sure we could drum up a few of the newer generations to give it a send-off. Maybe make them understand what it means.
Yes, that's that would be something anyway. Get a bit of life in the old place at least one more time before the end.
Better to burn out than fade away, huh?
Quite so, quite so.
Well, I think Lucas might be just the person to organize some kind of hootenanny.
And I'd like you to help me, Marcus, if you would.
Well, my party throwing days are a little behind me, but I'm sure there's still something left in the tank.
Well, mine are still ahead of me, and I'm pretty nervous about it. And that's why I'd like your help. And also, I don't know how to throw the kind of party like you must have had in the heyday of the Queen. I need stories.
I can tell a few. I can tell a few stories, certainly. And he'll pat Lucas's arm and say, well, as long as your nerves aren't too frail, anyway. Some of them can get a little shocking for such young ears as yours. And he'll chuckle.
A few drinks in me. Some of those songs like you used to listen to, those parties, it'll be smooth sailing, I think.
Well, he'll kind of just take the rest of the sandwich in his hand and just hurl it in the vague direction of some ducks, and say, "Well, come on then. That's a far better invitation than I've had in some time. Let's go and find somewhere a little more cheery than this bench."
I know just the place. I don't know if I do. But I say that, and then I rack my brain and link arms with Marcus.
Yep, and he'll happily link arms with you and kind of lean on you a little bit. But more out of you think out of a sense of camaraderie than actual physical frailty.
Mhm. I wonder if like Lucas knows how to like get people together and have a good time, but like this might call for some of Dawn's fire too, because it needs to be like a blaze, like you said. And I think Lucas is thinking about that, and maybe Kat has a look over to Dawn and sees Dawn in this light of day and everything. And I'm not exactly looking to someone else for the answer, but I just know that I'm going to need Dawn's help more than.
Yeah, so I mean, I think when you look back at Dawn, you and Marcus are kind of strolling away, and she is still standing like in front of the bench, like maybe just like dreamily looking at the ducks squabble over that kind of crust of a sandwich, and then she sees you look at her and then follows with a kind of energy maybe you don't usually associate with her, or at least not in your experience.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd like to spend a token to share someone's passion, and I think that look just like totally invigorates Lucas, and all doubt, most of the doubt is gone.
Okay, cool. Seems like scene to me. Yeah. Okay. So maybe is the scene for Cass and Penny's party this party that we're talking about now? Is this the same location,
that
right?
sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well then, why don't we set up something then before that, so we can all have the big group together at this thing? So let's say a scene where Cass, you and I are going to the bookstore to see if we could find Stephanie. And how about Lucas, you can show to tell us about the party?
Sure.
Does that sound solid?
Sounds great.
All right. And that leaves you, Donna, to pick up things as we may need. So
Yeah, I know previously when we were in the magic shop or the bookshop, we were using handmade deities, right?
mhm.
So I guess we'll look to that, but we might find it. We might find a different situation, but I'll keep an eye on things.
So we're heading to the bookstore, and I like to think, despite our long night, we still look fabulous. I mean, what's the use of being an angel if you can't look fabulous after a night of partying? She's usually here about this time, Cass, and I what you got me looking like, it's fantastic.
Thank you. It's some of my better work, I think, but it's good to have as good a canvas as you to work on. And he'll kind of grin, and is kind of going to step back over to one of the shelves, and looks back towards Adora and says, "It will be absolutely perfect. You'll be stood here. She'll come in. Your eyes will meet. It will be love at first sight, or as close to as makes little difference."
No pressures, and I'll get nervous. I'm I just wanted to see if she wants to hang out so we'll get to know each other better. That's all. Nothing too big.
Well, I'll go over there and make myself unobtrusive, so I'm not.
Well, you need to stay close so I can like lean on you if things go bad.
Okay, I'll be unobtrusive near you then.
Thank you. Pardon me, I am all coughed up. Ugh. Give me 1 second.
Me too.
Sorry, allergies are killing me. Ugh. And my pity voice hit me into a verklempt mode. Ugh. All right. I know why don't there's that guy you like. Well, how about I ask her if she'd like to do something and we can double date?
Sure, that sounds good.
So I'll do this and then you'll ask him out.
Sure.
Perfect. And so we head inside, and I will move from space to space, trying to find the right place to pose for when she comes in.
And I wonder, is Penny kind of completely comfortable with her new look, or is this just another way of presenting herself? What's the?
I think she's probably the sort who's comfortable with however she looks most of the time, but it is like she is just too cheerful to ever really pull off goth. So she's like hitting spots to be, she's way too much in the sun and smiley and everything, I think, and it probably doesn't look perfect.
Yeah, so I think maybe Stephanie comes out from the stock room to do some shelving, and coincidentally, obviously ends up right next to Penny. And I wonder, is the Penny's appearance, is it like such that like people don't recognize her, or is her kind of just demeanor unmistakable?
Her demeanor's probably pretty unmistakable. But it probably would take. It's probably enough that it would be the sort of double take look
Yeah.
to check.
Yeah, so I think Stephanie is like does that double take, and then says, "Oh, hi, Penny."
Hi. Hi. How are you, Stephanie?
Doing all right. Gertrude said yesterday you were looking for me.
Oh, she did. Yeah. That's my friend Cass. Hi, Cass.
Yeah, Cass will give a little wave.
We were thinking of going and doing something tonight, and I was wondering if you'd like to go, maybe with us.
Maybe. What is it you're thinking of doing?
And there's the sort of, oh shit, I hadn't thought that far.
And then there's a ding ding, and the door opens, and Lucas is in their favorite place, and they kind of like look over the shop for a second, see Penny, and like go to say hi, and then they see that Penny's right next to Stephanie in the midst of an important conversation, and they just immediately and just like give them space and go over to Kaz. I don't know if that interrupts the conversation or what Penny does with that. I'd like to still see you play this out a little more, but
I think that I don't think I noticed you come in immediately, so I'll be like, maybe we could go to a party or do some dancing. Do you like to dance?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it depends on the music, right? But yeah, a party sounds interesting.
Yeah, cool. And then I don't know. Y'all want to have a minute, and I'll look over and catch the two of y'all.
So the aside is like, Cass, we know each other, but are we on like especially familiar terms, do you think, or are we kind of like acquaintances?
Yeah, I think probably more acquaintances at this point. Sounds good to me, unless you want to go a different way. But I think that sounds, yeah, know each other by name sort of thing. But yeah,
that's great. Lucas tends to act pretty friendly as long as he knows that they're comfortable. So I think they come over to you and, hey, Cass, right?
Yeah, Lucas, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, welcome to my favorite place. What is happening over there?
Oops, sorry, I think I froze a little bit there. Yeah, hi, yeah. It's I must admit I've not been in here much before myself, but I'm here with Penny, and they'll nod over towards the conversation.
Yeah, and is it going well? Are you listening?
I think so. They seem to be getting on quite well.
What was Penny planning to do?
Ask her out on a double date with me. We hadn't got that far. We'll work something out, I'm sure.
I've got the thing. There's gonna be a party. Is it tonight? Maybe tomorrow night? There's gonna be a party.
Maybe tonight. I don't know.
Let's do tomorrow so we can have a chance. We got a few hours ahead of us. So there's gonna be a party tomorrow night. They're shutting down the Queen Mary, and we're gonna give it one last go. We're gonna burn out instead of fade away.
Oh, cool. That sounds great. That sounds like yeah, that sounds cool. I'll let Penny know in a second.
Okay, she might need saving, so you should. I'm gonna go.
Okay, cool. We'll see you tomorrow. And I'm actually not sure why we're whispering, but I'll catch you later.
It's a very quiet shop, and I didn't want to disturb the vibe. And then I rush out and ding ding.
I think I'll kind of start at the ding ding and see Lucas is going out and kind of, that's Lucas.
Yeah. And at this point, yeah, Cass will wander over and say, I just I was just having a chat with Lucas. He was just saying about this party tomorrow for the Queen Mary that's going to be going on. I don't know if anyone wanted to like go out somewhere tomorrow night. That might be a good place to go.
Yeah. How about we do tomorrow night instead of tonight? Is that cool?
I mean, I can party more than one night in a row.
I
mean, we're not quite over the hill yet, are we, Penny?
No. So we could do something tonight and tomorrow night. That would be nice. Yeah. Yeah. When do you get off tonight?
I think we're closing at 7, or at least I'm finishing at 7. So leaves us plenty of time.
Then I'll come back at 7 and we'll go do something. Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. I mean, yeah, whatever.
Do we think Gertrude comes over to give some instructions or something, and then just kind of catches sight of the two of you, and it's just very obvious or something like, oh. Well, Stephanie, if I might borrow you for a moment, something needs tidying.
I'll see you at 7. Bye. And
bye, Penny.
I'll kind of grab Cass's hand.
I think Gertrude just raises like 2 eyebrows at you out of sight of Stephanie or something.
As soon as the door closes, well, that went really, really well.
Excellent. I knew it would.
Now we've got to go get you a date.
Sure thing.
And that seemed like seeing. I think I did act awkward.
Oh, these are good pictures. Oh my God, Stephanie.
Yeah, I thought that's an awesome picture.
Oh, and Greg is where we're headed, it seems.
Well, do we want to do that, or is there something someone else wants to do? Want to go straight over there, David?
I'm happy if someone else wants to grab a scene first, but yeah, whatever works.
Yeah, let's do that. So,
all right, let's head.
So what's this bar like that you've met Greg in?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm wondering if it is like yeah, kind of one of those places that's sort of on the borderline between like a sort of student dive and a slightly more upmarket hipstery type place. But yeah, that sort of region, I think.
Does Cass feel comfortable there? Like they belong?
Sort of, I think. They're still not quite like certain about their place there. But yeah, I think definitely starting to feel more comfortable there.
Greg helps.
Yeah, exactly.
And from what I recall last week, he was just a guy at the bar who tried this corny pickup line, right, on Cass.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably be like primping you, and you look at your hair. I like it, but it flops at your eyes. All right, you look perfect.
Oh, thanks. yeah, he'll kind of primp a little bit, and then they'll sort of say, right, no time like the present, I suppose, and yeah, sort of step into the bar.
So I'm imagining it's like mid-afternoon, right? So not, maybe it's out of, you know, I mean, it's a student place, right? So, but there's not many students in town yet. So I imagine it's very quiet, right? Maybe a handful of customers and some, you know, bored, but thankfully bored bar staff.
Kind of an H&M style, like alt pop playlist happening that's like kind of in fashion, but kind of also a little, you know, like it didn't quite hit the mark. And probably I'm imagining a lot of wood paneling and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll slide over to the bar to give you the chance to make your move.
So what, I mean, Greg is obviously here, right? But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we can.
what do we see him doing when Cass kind of spots him?
Yeah, I'm does someone want to grab Greg and
Sure. People do at bars. I was gonna say like he's like playing chess, but I don't think that's true. I don't know if that's true.
Darts or pool?
Yeah. I think there's probably a pool table. There's one at every student congregation, and it's inevitably
Exactly,
got
yeah.
some bumps in it. And he's like playing with a menu or something, like leaning up against the wall while his friends are shooting. And so there's a bit of a barrier there. Like he's a bit engaged, but how do you try to approach the situation?
Yeah, so I think that Cass just kind of walks up and leans back on the wall next to Greg, and they just sort of turn to him and smile and say, "Hey there."
Hi. I see you have no qualms about interrupting a sanctioned match.
I don't really follow Paul, I have to say.
It's all right. It's a load of crap. None of these guys know what they're doing.
Good. Then I won't feel too guilty about interrupting.
And you can see him kind of taking stock of your look and kind of appreciating you. How do you react to that? How do you take that attention?
Yeah, I think that Cass is going to kind of smile and kind of exults briefly in being kind of studied, and says, I was wondering if maybe you'd like to take me out sometime.
I was wondering myself. how long it might be after I dropped that spectacular line the other night. You seem to enjoy more than most people would.
I enjoy a lot of things more than most people would.
And he kind of like raises an eyebrow a little bit, like he's not sure if that was a flirtatious thing or not. And he says, "Well, I'd like to find out. Yeah, take me out."
Cool. There's this. I've got a friend. We were going to go out together, and she's got someone as well. It's nothing too intense, but if you'd like to join us.
He says, "Yeah, what kind of thing is it?"
Just a do you know the old Queen Mary?
And he goes, "Oh yeah, that old place, yeah."
Some sort of like going away party, I think.
And I imagine Greg to be the sort of like younger queer guy who's maybe not as like well acquainted with those like older places, and he's probably got a lot of straight friends, and he probably looks around at his buddies playing pool, and he's like, "Is that where you really want to go?"
It should be fun. There's a few of my friends going to be there, and I'm sure we'll have a good time of it.
Yeah. Well, with you, I don't think it'll be too much of a challenge, but should I invite I don't know. And you can tell he's just a little uncomfortable about this party being the site of like a first date, kind of like he's going along with it, but he looks a little put out almost.
Sure. And so, I mean, like, if you want to go somewhere first so we can get to know each other a bit before we get into the whole party scene, that's cool as well.
Yeah, I like that. Warm me up a little.
Sure, I'm sure we can work something out.
And I see that you have passionate eyes, so I think at this point he's making very prolonged, intense eye contact with you, trying to maintain it. Kind of a game of chicken, sort of.
Awesome. I think, Cass is going to kind of keep eye contact with him for a good moment, and then just lean in closer and say, "Well, go on then, kiss me."
I was thinking about picking up Imperfect Vessel, like I was kind of hinting at it a few times, just kind of like,
Cool, yeah.
lingering on Cass, and setting him up. I'm not sure how he would take this whole thing, and I'm not really sure how to like GM this kind of thing, because it's not like we just resolve it, and I'm not sure how hard to make players have to like work to get the things that they're angling for, if that's part of the game too, but I mean, I don't think he could resist that, I don't think he could resist those passionate eyes, so I think he absolutely kisses you, but maybe he breaks it off and kind of looks around, sort of, as if his mates have seen him kissing in the corner.
Sure. And Cass is going to smile, and it's like, you can tell it's like a genuinely sort of happy smile, and they say, "Well, that will do for starters, but I'll expect more later." And he'll say, he'll give him their number and say, I'll let you know more when I get the details on the party, but hit me up when you want to meet.
And he's totally dazed, and he goes, "Yeah, Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Did you choose a desire for imperfect vessel?
Yeah, I was having a look at it. I wasn't sure if that was something I should have chosen earlier in the scene as like a thing to angle towards, but
You can have it be informed, I think, off of what happened.
right. Well, it seems like vulnerable intimacy kind of makes sense because it's like a thing that you're both getting comfortable with, sort of.
Cool. Yeah, that works for me.
To be on display also because you were kind of like in front of his friends and like being in your whole in your power. So yeah, I kind of like that one actually. Like Cass has been a performer with Penny, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's like to be on display. And
Cool.
I could choose the other two, but I could just leave it at that for now.
That sounds good. And I've taken a token for my weak move of beg to be touched.
Nice.
There's probably like a gamut of reaction from his friends, right, at the pool table, right? So
And I'm grinning ear to ear at the bar.
because Penny can tell that went well, right?
Oh yeah, that went so much better than mine did. I suppose as you start heading out, I'll fall in with, well, that was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice to I'm looking forward to spending more time with him.
His buddy seems sort of a square.
Yeah, they did seem a bit boring, but I'm sure he'll be much more fun once we get him away from them and into something more fun, something more lively.
Absolutely. There's nothing like getting someone where they can just let go and have a good time.
Exactly.
Sound like Sue?
Are the two of you still afterglowing a little bit from that stuff you took last night? But yeah, that's good.
I'm just wondering, is that a good place to take a break, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah. Let's make it 1:15, will we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Latte time.
Okay. So yeah, I don't mind if we want to do that date first, or maybe see what Dawn is up to. Organizing this party with Lucas and Marcus and the rest of the community.
Well, let's have you do something. Like I say, you've sat on the sidelines for way too long.
Okay. So yeah. So I feel like maybe Dawn is maybe hunting down some people for whom the Queen Mary is like, too old school for them, or there's better scenes going on for some of the younger crowd, and they're tearing that place down anyway. What do we care, right? So I think she is maybe trying to shake people's cages a little bit and get them involved. So I don't know. Maybe Lucas has given her a few names of people that they know from the scene, or maybe she's.
Are these like movers and shakers who, or like, important community members who might be able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
attract?
Yeah, and I think maybe there's a lot like different cliques or different scenes in town. So Marcus might not have the influence to get them on board.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm just looking at the people that we have involved and wondering if any of them are worth bringing in, or if this is like kind of the nameless crowd who are kind of like resistant to, or have kind of abandoned this old beautiful place.
Yeah, unless there's someone in our kind of character lists that we haven't brought in yet. We have our folk singer, right? The lonely folk singer that we haven't really seen except in that very first scene.
Yeah.
We've got the photographer.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, who we haven't seen at all. Have we?
I don't think so.
I think we've just seen the photographs, not the photographer.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So there could be a connection there.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they do photography for the town or something, for like municipal services or something, and have some like connects with people there, and also are cool and a photographer and stuff. So
Yeah.
Maybe just for the paper.
the whole
Yeah,
paper.
I mean, maybe Dawn has an inkling that a little bit of publicity might actually help to save the bar.
Since I just played Greg, I think I'd like someone else to facilitate for Dawn here. If anyone wants to do it.
You want to, David, or?
Yeah, sure, can do.
Knock it out.
So I don't know where we think Dawn kind of comes across Joe, the photographer, maybe arriving at his studio or something. Like maybe studio is too grand a word, I don't know, but arriving at his place of work.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a basically an old like almost like one of those old like commercial garage type things that's been converted into a rudimentary studio. Yeah, probably like an old industrial type building that's been sort of like industrial building that's been split up into a few different like workshops and studios and this sort.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I think Dawn will
think he's just kind of like chaining up his bike to the sort of the rack outside, and will look up at you and kind of give you that like half look of half recognition. Do you think he actually kind of do you know each other already, do you think, or
I mean, I think maybe he's seen her hang out with Cass the odd time, so like a acquaintance, very kind of slim acquaintance, So recognition more than
Yeah,
anything else,
yeah.
but, remind me of your name kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Hey, I don't think I've seen you around here before. It's
And I think Dawn lets that kind of social, please prompt me with your name,
Yeah.
extend to its kind of maximum length. And she just kind of almost ignores it. She just says, "I'm Dawn. I know Cass."
Cool. Joe, nice to meet you. And is going to kind of look around and say, "Is there any, were you here for anything in particular?"
Oh, I was wondering if you're interested in taking some photographs.
Always, but and I assume you have something specific in mind.
Oh, I do. Yeah. There's a pub that's about to close down, the Queen Mary. I don't know if you know it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I've been in once or twice before, but yeah, I know the place. I know the place.
There's like a party, a celebration going on tomorrow night, and I guess I'm wondering if you want to help capture the moment.
Yeah, I think that sounds cool. It's no, it would be good to get some pictures in the old place. And you can kind of see that the gears turning. I was saying, yeah, I remember hearing that they were going to take the place down. So no, absolutely, it'd be nice to get some pictures while it's still there, and while there's people there too.
Yeah, I mean, it seems, talk to a few people who hung out there in the old days. Seems like a really important part of the community.
Yeah, I could maybe do a few interviews as well, get some portraits in there. That would be cool. You can kind of see like him already kind of assembling the you know, the art show, as it were, in his head, and he says, "Yeah, no, that sounds cool. Thanks for coming to me."
So I'm kind of curious, right? Like you say, like do interviews. Like how much do you need to know someone before you can? I mean, that's a stupid question now that I start saying it. How much do you need to know someone before you can like shoot them?
I don't need to know them at all, really. I think part of the point of it is you can get so much of someone just by seeing them, particularly, in candid shots, candid moments. But for a good portrait, I think it helps to already have a sense of who they are. And when it's something like this, something historical, the stories are what makes it special. So yeah, it'd be cool to chat to some people, get their memories of the place. That'll help me shoot it better, I reckon.
Okay, well, if you know any people who might appreciate seeing the place one last time, feel free to spread the invite.
Sure thing, will do. So, what's your interest in the place? Are you a regular? You forgive me for saying you don't seem the type.
Few friends love the place, so I guess I do.
Cool. I was going to say it always seemed to attract the older crowd. So,
Well, I'm older now, look.
Well, you certainly seem well preserved enough, so he'll kind of grin.
Yeah, I think we got what we wanted out of that.
Yeah, sure thing.
Do
Should we
we
do?
fast forward to Penny's first date?
All righty. Okay, David, do you think you're going with your guy, or do I get stuck on this by myself, or what do you think?
I'm happy to just keep this focused on Penny and Stephanie. So yeah, I think that sounds good. I think I'll sit this one out and then.
Okie dokie.
You're stuck.
All right. So I suppose I'm going to be showing up at about 7 o'clock. And I think I've probably at least made an attempt to find where something is going on. But in the end, it's the only parties I can find are like fratty type things. And I'm like, that's just not good. So I decide it's probably best to just like walk the bar scene. They probably have it's a college town. There's a whole section of places. And I'm thinking we'll just walk that, hang out, talk sort of thing. And hope that doesn't bore her to tears. So as I show up, I've kept the makeup the same, but I own almost nothing black. So instead, I'm probably wearing something that's multicolored and kind of flowy. That probably more shows off I probably look more like a raver kid than a goth, honestly. But as I kind of wait outside the door for her to come out, who's going to take her?
Well, unless anyone wants to jump in, I can continue to play Stephanie.
All righty. Hi.
And I think she kind of is surprised that you've changed again and looking maybe a little bit less gothy than previously advertised. So you better lead on, right?
Yeah, my friend's he's going to he and his date are going to a big party tomorrow night. It's have you heard of a place called the Queen Mary?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
It's kind of an alt bar, actually I think it's an older crowd, but they're what I understand that it's about to be closed down by these like assholes who are turning it into condos, and like they're having a big huge party to like give it a send off, but that's tomorrow. So I thought maybe me and you could just like walk around downtown and hang out and maybe get to know each other some.
Yeah, I can do hanging out.
Nice. We'll start walking.
It's like a no pressure first date, right?
Yeah, no pressure first date. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I don't think I've actually gone out with someone in years.
Oh, bad breakup.
In a way, yeah. I for a long time I just didn't really think that there was anybody that would be that interested in me, or that I'd be that interested in. But you're one of the coolest people I've seen.
Well, I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Well, I mean, you don't have to say anything. I mean, I didn't mean to embarrass you.
No, I mean, like it is. I guess it's easy, or maybe it's not easy to like look cool.
Well, I guess. Are you? Well, you see, I sort of go with the idea that I can tell a lot about a person. And when I saw your eyes, you looked like someone who saw into people.
Well, that's I think Gertrude said that once, but she is always coaching, to be, kind of insightful. So maybe that's worked off.
She seems nice.
I mean, she has her favorite customers, and I mean, you and your friends are always at the top of her list. Or when she's talking about people who've been in, people who give her, an awesome feeling. She doesn't say awesome feeling, but that's like how I translate it.
She seems to like Lucas. Lucas he's pretty special.
Yeah, he seems like he's seen it all before. Like an old soul.
That's kind of true. There's all sorts of things in the shop, and well, Lucas they're always interested in inspiration. I think that's why they enjoy going there.
But sometimes it's like you'll say something to him or you'll show him something, and it will be like puppy dog eyes and like, oh my god, I've never seen something so amazing. Like the first time the cash register pinged in the morning. Like, I don't know.
It's finds wonder in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, just cute, right? That's cute.
And maybe with that line, I don't know if this is me picking up any of these or situations or anything, but you probably turn onto the main drag and there's like all sorts of like lights strewn across the road and food truck smells wafting, and probably like the community theater club like putting on some kind of like little performance on the side of the road with like a handful of people gathered around. And I don't know, this kind of feels like the little rituals of like a town, what's in between a town and a city at late summer kind of, not quite festival, but just to just to paint the downtown strip a little bit in
And
the wonder of the world.
Yeah, and my face lights up. It's amazing to watch people creating things, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's always like this time of year, right? There's like a anticipation and like a little bit of nervousness and like a lot of energy.
I
Yeah,
like it.
so
I like it better before we get all the students. I mean, it's nice to see new people, and I always enjoy it when the dancers show up. You get to learn new steps, and I get to see new things, but there's something more real about the people that stay here all the time. Do you like it here?
yeah, yeah, it's kind of my first summer was really strange, you know, it was such a like a I don't know, like a downer after term time. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I mean like the townies know what's really going on. They've seen it all before. But you know, there's something nice about those freshmen coming in, not knowing what's going on.
Are you still going to school?
No, no.
So are you planning are you from here?
Yeah, I grew up. Well, I grew up like next town over. So yeah,
And you plan to stay?
who knows? I mean, I don't like making plans. Not really a planning kind of person.
Hmm. We kind of gotten up closer to where there's the lights and the people. And I think that the little performance going on there, I'll stop, kind of slow down to watch it. And um, you you seem like you're, you know, like always in control. You're so calm. I'm always like a ball of nerves.
Um, I mean, if I feel like if I can't like if I don't have any plans, I'm never disappointed, right? So I'm just kind of going with the flow.
That's sort of how I've lived my life. Just moving from one thing to another, and I don't know, it's made the world seem very impermanent, very almost like a flash, and it's changed.
Yeah, but like every like semester is different, but it's like there's a cycle, so it's kind of all the same. It's just changing, and it's going to be the same as last year.
That seems a little, I don't know, kind of, it's reassuring but sad too.
Um, yeah, but like think of it like um, when I was growing up, I used to spend the summers um, here, um, and I used to have like a different set of friends that I would see every summer. It's not like I miss my old friends, but I meet my summer friends. So, I mean, it's changed, but I can enjoy the different things that are going to happen.
I think we'll keep walking a bit, and
Like Penny, when you're doing a dance routine, right? Do you always know exactly what you're going to be doing, or do you like, whatever you like, make it up sometimes?
I make it up a lot as I go along.
And is that like scary or exciting?
It's exciting.
Well, there you go. It's just like this.
So you enjoy just sort of making it up as you go along?
Yeah, well, I think it's like you said, everyone is making it up as they're going along, right?
Yeah.
And no one knows really what's going to happen. I mean, the next minute.
No one here.
So why sweat it?
I'll kind of smile and take a few minutes. I like that. Let me show you something. And I'm going to take her kind of through the crowd and off to where it's a little quieter, kind of a park that's off of this street. And look up. You see where all of the stars are above us. If you watch, they move just a little. But as you watch them, they'll sort of dance just a little on their own. And as I kind of direct your attention up to it, I'm going to I'm going to spend a point and help someone let go. As I kind of moving my hand, I'm standing behind her, look between my fingers. And as I'm moving my hands, the stars are, where they blink, there is that slight vibration, and it's a trick of my hand being there and slightly moving makes the stars look like they're actually moving. See, each of them is dancing up above us, the same as we're down here. And they don't really know where they're going either.
I think she kind of maybe giggles nervously, but kind of settles into a smile. Okay, that is surprising, I guess.
It's kind of part of the magic of being down here. We all get to move around and dance underneath them while they dance up above us, and that makes this all special. It makes every moment special.
So So how so how are you a nervous wreck when you can be like this?
Because I'm scared that I'm dancing the wrong steps.
But well, I mean you're not, obviously. I mean, I don't think you are.
I'll kind of reach down and take her hand. That's why I think you're cool. When you look at me, I don't think I am either.
Yeah, I mean like I may look cool, but obviously you've got it all figured out. Um, I mean, when it comes to dancing stars, at least.
Yeah, maybe. And I'll kind of walk us on a drink and walk us towards a bar. Does that seem like saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Cute. That was so good. I had sad indie pop Zoomer music, gay Zoomer music on, and it was the perfect ambiance. Just like the movies. So that's probably the scene to close out the night, right? Of admiring the stars and a new love on a late summer eve. At some point the next day, we could do Lucas and Marcus like planning, maybe at the Queen Mary before anyone else, or at Marcus's place, like going over plans and details and stuff. But I'd like anyone to be involved if they wish to, and see any other scenes we got going on.
Yeah, what's folks got in mind? I agree, that I think that's a cool idea. And part
Yeah.
of me at least wouldn't mind seeing I think this would be an awesome thing for what's his name? Sam, is that it?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
For Sam to be involved in too.
I'm certainly happy to pick up Marcus again for this scene. As I don't see it necessarily being something that Cass needs to be involved in anyway, and I'm happy to continue playing that character.
Cool. Would Dawn show up at some point, or just to rule out who's going to be where?
Yeah, I think Dawn is probably showing up. Maybe Sam has convinced her that she should really help out, given that he knows that Lucas and her are friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is like a pale light of the morning, not quite that early probably, but like this is maybe us like kind of dusting off the Queen Mary a little bit, and like, you know, going in and like we've done some planning the day before, maybe got our playlist together and coordinated some food stuff or something, but now we're at the place and we're trying to capture the magic of the old times and bring in some new as well. Do maybe I walk to Marcus's place in the morning to retrieve him, and we walk together to the Queen Mary. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great. And maybe it'd even be nice to kind of like, if this were visualized, for us to be kind of like retreading some of the steps or happening upon the same scene from the night before, and it's just totally transformed in the light of the morning. Like it's like the afterglow sort of a night. What does Marcus like look like a little bit? Do you have any ideas?
I put a pick in the character keeper.
There's a pick. Yes. With the
Awesome.
button-up sweater. Yeah, on Vera. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and I think Max has got his arm in Lucas's again, and kind of lets out a sign. Says, "Well, it's a sign of the times. I have a young companion on my arm coming to the bar rather than leaving it. It always used to be the other way around. But thank you again for helping out with all of this."
Who knows what the night may bring you, Marcus? Don't be writing anything off too soon.
Well, there's still life in the old dog yet, so we'll have to see.
And then I think Lucas takes a deep breath and kind of like, maybe we're approaching the Queen Mary, and maybe before we come into sight of it, I just take a deep breath and I say, "How do you feel, Marcus?"
Good. It will be, as I said, nice to at least give the place a proper send-off if we can't save it.
Dawn is capable of a lot. I know that you know her and you know her spirit, but I've seen her fire, burn, strong, bright, but not in a vicious way, not in a way that hurts, just that warms. I think we could save it.
Perhaps it will be. That would certainly be something, but if we don't, at least we'll all have something to remember for as long as we've got.
Yeah.
And with enough young folk around, that will hopefully be a good long time.
I love all these references to time and how it's sort of different for us, kind of, and yeah, a very long time. And I think we come up to the Queen Mary, and maybe throw the doors open together. And do you think there's like ownership that are just kind of kicking around, waiting the days out until the place is sold?
Yeah, I think there's probably some staff in here, kind of or at least a member of staff in here, kind of tidying the place up and getting it ready and all that sort of thing. I think it is still open, if in somewhat more straightened circumstances. So it's they're doing the kind of usual sort of mid-morning in a bar prep of just like cleaning and stuff.
Right. And we kind of stand and survey the room, I think, and we're going to need a bigger dance floor.
Yes, maybe we could probably move some of these tables out of here. It's not like they usually we're usually filling seats to capacity in here anyway, so I'm sure we can make some space.
What was it like the dance floor?
It was amazing the first time I came here. I'd come here for college from a little farm town, little ways away, and coming here, stood on this dance floor for the first time, being able to dance with the other boys for the first time. It was obviously it was all disco back then, but
I like disco.
well, you better, because that's I'm sure mostly what we'll be having tonight.
Well, good. I better get to it. And is Marcus like able? Would Marcus be the one taking care of the DJing? Like, is there someone in town who's going to bring their own like turntables and like do it old style, or like do they have that set up here? Or the music's very important to Lucas, so
Yeah, I think they probably do still have the kit here. Not necessarily someone who uses it to its full potential normally, but yeah, maybe they've got someone in to do that.
yeah. Great. Looking at my moves here. I mean, one of the things that Lucas really wants to do is like capture some of the essence of this place too. Like, it'll be really easy to bring in lots of new energy and stuff, but you have to be intentional about what you want to preserve and what you want to hold close. And so I think maybe after they work for a bit and they sit down to have some food and some coffee or something like that, I think Lucas is going to spend a token and ask what means the world to you, and in conversation more of like get to like what they want to find out really is like, what's the essence of this place to you and to the people that are here, and like, you know, how do I learn from that to be able to pass it on, sort of thing. And tell me a little more about the Queen Mary in its day.
It was always a place. It was always welcoming, no matter who you were or how you were. The old owner was like a second mother to most of us here. She's been gone a good few years now, sadly, but it was always a place that welcomed people, and for those who were a bit more down their luck, she'd usually find a little work for them around the place. Somewhere to stay. There was always a couple of rooms kept upstairs. Supportive. And obviously we all came here primarily just to have a good time and get lost in things. But it was always with the knowledge that we'd always be welcome.
I like the sound of that. The old owner. And maybe I think when Marcus said like a second mother to everyone, like Lucas immediately thought of Dawn and of Sam as well, right? You know, and I don't know if the two of you want to get on the scene at all, or if they're gonna show up later and just help for the setup before the party, because I think this is good stuff. We've got out
Yeah, I think it might be worth Dawn and Sam arriving, you know, um, to kind of not interrupt the conversation, but to kind of come in at the dramatically appropriate point, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think hearing that, Lucas says, well, that's what I want for myself and for those around me. And it seems like I always have these plans of how to make things feel right and make things all come together and make sure everyone feels right in a place. But it always falls through my fingers. And it seems like it just happened here. I don't know if I can carry that spirit forward. I don't know if it's a different world or if it's what it is.
It's nothing any one person can do. I don't think it's always about the people, or the. I mean, this building still matters a lot, but it's the blood and sweat and tears and you don't want to know that's gone into this place that's really made it what it is.
I think at the doorway we hear Sam go, Don, it looks a lot different inside than on the outside.
Wait till tonight, I guess.
And I think the last bit of conversation between the two of them is something like, well, putting my trust in a big group in the past has not worked out for me. Yeah, I haven't felt at home in a group like that before, but I guess the group that I'm thinking of, there wasn't a lot of blood or sweat or tears or anything else. Just a lot of the same, but different. And I don't know if I can, well, I can try again, but I'm scared.
Well, if it means anything, I believe you can pull this off.
Thanks, Marcus. And I turn and just immediately go and wave, or my face changes as soon as I see Sam, and I brighten up, and it seems like as soon as there's people around to uplift and to kind of bring the energy in, then Lucas kind of transforms a little bit. And Sam,
It's Lucas. Hey, Don, are they really going to tear this place down? I mean, it's cool.
We're
Dawn,
going to try.
Dawn, corrupting the morals of a miner now, are we? Is this what it's come to?
Sure. Yeah, I guess it has.
Well,
in a bar in the AM. I mean, that's nothing you would have done at Sam's age.
Well, we far be it from me to stand in the way of you doing the good work. And he'll kind of grin.
I think Sam's probably run up towards where Lucas is and is looking over where you've cleared the dance floor.
You got your moves ready?
I think so. I don't think Mom would be happy, but yeah, I've been practicing.
Cass and Penny will be very pleased to hear that.
Well, they're gonna be here too. He'll look back towards you, Dawn.
I mean, I don't think they've got anywhere better to be. I mean, I don't think there is anywhere better to be tonight.
That's what I like to hear. Dawn, I just heard tales of the old ownership in this place. Reminded me of you a little bit. You ever thought about owning a bar?
No, not really. I'm not sure what that entails, except kicking people out when you have to go to bed, and that doesn't seem like me.
I know you've got more of a den mother in there than you like to admit.
Sam will laugh at that.
I think, I think Dawn looks a little bit uncomfortable with that. Maybe not used to the uncomfortable truth being directed at her.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. I think we need some music in here to really get any work done.
I think Sam might have a good ear for that kind of thing.
Yeah. He like pulls out his phone. Is there somewhere to plug in?
I think you might actually have to plug in. I'm not sure. This is a Bluetooth kind of place, but
Tell me, lad, have you ever been introduced to the wonders of vinyl before?
Being like pants?
You seem a little young for that, but let's take a step over to the decks.
Okay, cool. And I think he'll be excited to go up there. Leaving the two of you, Lucas and Dawn, down at the dance floor, I suppose, as the two of them go up there, and Mark is showing him something he probably has really, he understands what they are, but has maybe never seen in his life.
Well, Dawn, we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think all you needed was some willing recipients of your vision, right?
I think I needed to share my vision.
I mean,
Like I needed other people's vision to join together. I think I went wrong before.
I'm not sure you went wrong, just maybe sometimes things fall on fallow ground,
Mm-hmm.
people are receptive when they're receptive, and you can't be blamed if they're not. There's a time for all things.
I think they're more receptive though if you hand it to them gently instead of throw it at them. I think I might have done some bit of pie in the face.
Yeah, maybe that's a lesson for both of us.
Does this feel good to you, Don? Is this exciting to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of scary, but good.
It doesn't. It feels new enough, right? Not too much like before. I know you like to be on your own. I know you like to the strength of your own company, and I understand why. Yeah, I didn't like how it felt up there either. But this is worth coming together and fighting for. Do you think?
I mean, it's not really my fight, but I mean, it feels like I have to be a bit more careful when I'm fighting for someone else's dream. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it does. But dreams aren't just owned by one person, and there's more nuance there. There's dreams stretch and grow and reshape themselves and welcome new people into their folds. And even if it's not your truest, most burning desire, you can still hold that close. I'm sorry, I'm pushing again.
It's okay, if you push too hard, I might push back.
I wouldn't expect anything less from a den mother. And I look over to Sam, who's like, what's Sam up to over there? What's the visual picture we get?
I think you see Sam and Marcus, and Sam's super excited, and he's like playing with the light board so that it's, and we're catching where the strobe will hit and the lights will hit the disco ball. And I think this is probably what he's playing.
Yes.
But cause nothing's better than the Pet Shop Boys. And so you could, he's like lit up. He's very excited. And I think that, not to step on Marcus particularly, but like you could see the reflected excitement that's going back and forth between them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Marcus is kind of clearly taking delight in sort of showing Sam the ropes, and passing commentary on the bar's selection of records, and yeah.
I think you can even see as, we kind of get this vision of them up there and the lights up on the dance floor and you two kind of in the middle. And we can even see down the bar, like the staff are kind of moving with the music too. And they've, we've got the lights that have flicked on behind the bar. So you've got like the rainbow lights coming up through the bottles. Got the, like any good gay bar, there's the Christmas lights like strung around the top and all that sort of look.
Yeah.
So it is sort of filling up with life.
Yeah. And I say to Dawn, as we kind of look at Sam having the time of his life and the music picks up, I say, you better be careful. He's going to rub off on you.
I think there's a snort, right? But she like stops tapping her foot, right?
Yeah. And I say, come on, just a quick dance with me before we get back to work.
I didn't even
Please.
start working.
And I say, I'll have you know I've been here. You know what? Never mind. And he's just dancing around you, kind of, if you're not joining in.
So yeah, I think she kind of looks up at the kind of DJing set, and so I think like without looking at Lucas, she like starts to kind of get into the groove of the music, looking at Sam and Marcus kind of talk about the set and what's happening with this song, and hey, I recognize this remix, and I think Dawn kind of reaches out to hold Lucas's hand, and kind of lets herself slowly be taken over by Lucas's movement.
Nice. Perfect. That feels like scene to me. It's presumed that we'll eventually get to some work, but we're just kind of the most important work is to catch the vibe so that you can work from there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the jam tower. That was great.
Cool. Yeah, I think we are due another break, are we?
Yeah, I think so.
Does past sound like enough time?
For sure.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I think, like I said, I think we maybe do the double date scene and then kind of go to the party at the Queen Mary. So where does this double date start? Who's kind of running the show in terms of picking a place or time and directing things?
I feel like it's that's something that Cass will probably leave more to Penny.
Okay. Then probably Penny will suggest that we she's just not a person that would say, let's have a fancy dinner. That is just so not her. So I imagine she's suggesting that we do like street food and walk amongst people and like maybe, sit, find a place where we could sit and eat our food and hang out and talk and then hit the party. What does Cass think of that?
Yeah, Cass is absolutely up for that.
Do you think there's a spot in town or maybe on the college grounds that has that kind of quad college feel, nice place to sit out and people watch and have some space to yourself, or what's the place to end up?
Yeah, that sounds, because I imagine that you got the college and we've got the bar street where, we saw before with the performances. So I imagine that's close by. So we could probably grab food and hit the quad, and that's got, it'd have trees and places to sit, and it's probably quiet because the students aren't there yet, sort of thing. And yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah. And I'm interested, like, David, your date guy. Do you like go pick him up, or do y'all meet? How does he get to us?
I think we probably just arranged to meet up, like at the, wherever we're going to grab food and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's probably more that sort of thing rather than kind of meeting up in advance.
Cool, because we are an odd-looking foursome. I have a feeling. I mean, probably we are with your date's a little more preppy. Honestly, you look like you should be with Steph probably more than I do. That sort of feel. So I think that Steph and I'll probably come up together. Hi, Cass.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going cool. Have you met Steph before?
Not properly, no. Nice to meet you, Steph, Cass.
Yeah. I think I know all of Penny's friends who hang around the store and look suspiciously at our special offers, right? And never buy anything, right?
I bought a bowl.
Yeah, that's a good bowl.
Where's, and I'll kind of be looking around. What's his name? Greg?
Yes, that's it, Greg. Hopefully he'll be here. Hopefully he'll be here soon.
And I'll, can I get you something? As I kind of head over towards a taco truck, which is probably one of the worst things to be eating when you're in decent clothes to go dancing. But Stephanie, you want burrito, taco? Meat on a stick.
I mean, it's going to be a long night, so I think I will avoid I'll avoid for at least a few hours, maybe on the way home.
Okay. Okay. And I will, looking somewhat disappointed, give a look over to the snow cone truck. Say, well, I mean, a snow cone is they're light, and we need to stay hydrated. And I'll kind of bebop over towards that.
Around the snow cone area, you can probably see Greg dressed up, kind of like looking around, like looks a bit stressed because he's probably late.
Hey, Greg.
And he comes like walking briskly over.
Cass is over there.
This is an awkward meeting. I'll be back. And he runs over to Cass. Hey, sorry, I wasn't exactly sure where we were going to meet, and I realized I never really actually asked you, so I've just kind of been wandering around looking.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I honestly, I didn't plan this whole thing out super well. I mostly left it to Penny, but no, it's great to see you, and you look amazing.
Thank you. I guess I have many hours to keep this jacket pristine, and I'm a little not looking forward to any stains.
We'll try and be careful then, I guess. And he'll grin.
Yeah, and he grins back at you. What was that thing you said while you were flirting? While the two of you were flirting before about like all the different things that you could enjoy doing or something?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how I phrased it, but it was words to that effect.
Well, the other night you made it sound as though you do all sorts of interesting things, and this date is a bit of a mystery to me.
Yeah, we're just gonna grab something to eat and drink, what have you now. Sit out in the park for a bit, and then head on to the Queen Mary for well, more drinks and dancing.
So just a quick little top up of some snow cones. Is that the plan?
I think whatever you like. You're more than welcome to. Um,
I think he leans in a little bit and he says, "Well, what would you like, Cass?"
a snow cone sounds good to start off with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And he grabs your hand and kind of pulls you a little bit over to the snow cones.
Yeah, and Cass will willingly follow.
I've gotten like the brightest, reddest snow cone. And I have gone here. I got 2 spoons, but it's really more fun to just go like, "Ah," and I'll hold some out for Stephanie.
Yeah, I think she, is all too willing to risk the brain freeze to dig in. And yeah, I think it looks fairly incongruous. This bright red snow cone is really not the goth, but it's ironic. It's surely an ironic statement. But yeah,
Brain freeze is an altered state of consciousness, right? So
yeah,
he's probably
yeah.
into that. Do we want to just say what kind of snow cone-ish things we come away with and then convene? Or up at the counter? What does Cass get?
Yeah, I think Cass will get like swirls of several different like flavoring syrups on it, like almost like a rainbowy type effect going on.
I think Greg probably orders one of those like big popsicles that obviously used to just be in his mom's freezer all the time. Like he's just like, it's very much a safety pick, like one of those big red, blue, and white ones. And he goes, "What?" It's all just sugar and ice and juice.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. It's very
Were you gonna say childish?
but in a good way.
Okay, I guess
It
I'm just
should
feeling a
be-
little self-conscious.
It should be fun.
You're right. We're getting snow cones.
Exactly.
Okay. I forgot what dates were like. This is a date, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. And he grabs your hand again.
But I've honestly not done this much at all, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me neither. You saw the kind of people I hang around with. It's all kind of new to me.
Me too. Me too. I was in this whole thing before, and just getting out and meeting people and all of that. It's good. It's good.
Do you miss where you came from?
Yes, I do still, but all of this helps.
Me too, he says, and he sucks on his popsicle a little bit. Shall we?
Yeah. And I think this time he's going to kind of take the lead a bit and pull Greg, back towards the others.
Well, you two have done a number of them. That's no con.
Tyler, am realizing it's been a billion years since I went on a date or had to flirt with anyone. So I have like no capability. My game is gone. But I think that the two of them are sharing this, and I think it does get about halfway done, that I reach down and kind of Betsy get the bottom of it and pull up. I had him put in a gumball in the bottom. You want it?
A gumball? Well, it's kind of difficult to share, but I'm game if you are.
And she'll hold it up. She says, well, when they get cold, you see, they'll break. So, and she'll take it in and she'll put it in her mouth, kind of where half of it's sticking out. She says, so if we both bite, we'll both get half.
I mean, it's the most I don't know, innocent, risque thing I've ever heard.
And I'll move over and basically kiss her as we bite this gumball in half. And that's it. That's as good a game as I can manage.
Maybe we come over while you're doing this Lady and the Tramp gumball situation.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a funny time to approach. We picked a bad time.
We're just splitting a gumball.
I've
not heard it called that before, but
for once, not a metaphor.
Stephanie, this is Greg, Stephanie.
Yeah, and I think Stephanie probably does the kind of looking at the way Greg is dressed and kind of looking over at Cass and maybe wondering exactly how these two ended up together.
Greg does a bit of a bow.
Oh, Lord. I am tempted to say we have conversation but shift off scene, because I just don't know if I can make small talk.
That's very fair.
True. That is not. I didn't come here for small talk simulator for sure.
Yeah. Small talk is had. We can fast forward through it.
Yeah, unless we want to do like a like a spending tokens game of the in between the small talk of like actual shared looks and like pointed things and not really have to narrate all that stuff. But I'm totally cool to just skip to later if it's like getting dark or something. I'm into that.
Yeah, I think I'm up for skipping forward. Now, if folks have deep things they want to talk about or something conversation to talk about, I'm more than happy to have that happen. I could say I'm probably acting a little silly. I'm probably a bit chipper, this being the second date. I think she likes me. And it is in my nature to be a little on the silly side. And I'm trying to break her out of her shell and make her laugh with me. So that's probably the vibe I'm giving off on this date.
Yeah, and I think in terms of Cass, to the limits that Greg is interested, and public decency is being quite like physically affectionate with Greg. Lots of holding hands and leaning against him and yeah, lots of like close physical contact. And is probably more so isn't like taking the lead in terms of like conversation, is chatting with people as they bring stuff up, but they're more interested in just like being close to Greg.
Yeah, and I think Greg is at first like a little uncomfortable with it, but definitely eases into it. Is probably ready for the Queen Mary by the time that darkness rolls around.
Yeah, I think Stephanie is kind of, getting used to the company, and is definitely toying under kind of Penny's relentless assault on her kind of usual routine, or at least her way of acting. So yeah. And also, I mean, I think like in terms of like things that may come up for the characters, if something occurs to people, there's a party and everyone is going to be there, so we can always like drop some mini scenes in if we wanna. Okay. So we fast forward to the Queen Mary. Do you do something with Dawn and Lucas, maybe setting the scene earlier before the others arrive, or do we just cut straight to Penny and Cass and co arriving, and let's see how things have progressed?
I'd be into a little quick thing just to check in on like how they're feeling before this sort of thing. I mean, we kind of touched on that last scene a little bit, so we don't have to linger too long. But
yeah.
But after a day of dancing and cleaning and whatever other sort of preparations have happened, I guess we're trying to make this a bit of a sanctuary roost, probably, but I don't know if it is. I'm still getting the hang of these situations. They're very interesting. I'm very intrigued, but I still don't totally.
Yeah, they seem like both more specific and like less on solid ground than most of the kind of situations in Belonging Outside Belonging usually are, in my experience. But yeah, they are quite interesting.
I like it. They drive at the themes, but
So I kind of imagine, right, that like as things start to warm up, different crowds of people arrive, and these are people that Lucas might know a lot of them, and then Dawn knows a few of them, and there's I think a big mishmash of different cliques showing up.
I guess we're dressed up now, right?
Yeah, though I don't think Dawn has really accepted this whole changing outfits thing. as a concept, but it might take a substantial amount of peer pressure to get her to say I should dress up for this special occasion. So I think still in her usual garb.
Maybe Lucas comes in back from the New Age shop with like all sorts of like beaded necklaces and different adornments and draperies and things, and maybe a few extra things to kind of like set about the room, and comes to Dawn with some of them and says, "I've got your outfit."
How do you mean exactly?
Well, you see, you take these and you put them up over your head and around your neck, and they shine. They glitter.
I mean, is the way that works like out of character? Is that Lucas is, as he is doing that, is actually doing it to Dawn, right? This is how it works, right?
Well, yeah, I think first they put one on themselves,
Yeah.
and then they kind of like threaten, like like loom over. I'm kind of waiting to see how you react.
Yeah, and I think Dawn like doesn't stop Lucas from doing it, but kind of looks down at them draped around her and kind of like looks up and says, "Okay." So is that it, or do I need to be some kind of bubbling whirlpool like you and the others, or can I just be myself?
I kind of like, I think Lucas takes a moment and like looks down to the many more necklaces and jewelry on all the stuff that they have, and they go, "No, you're right, Dawn." And I think I'll like say what you want to hear, sort of. Well, maybe it's more being gentle, but I think Lucas says, like, "You can take that off as soon as you want to."
Okay.
But you might find when things start, it catches the light.
Yeah, I'm content to see how things go.
Is Sam doing okay, you think?
Yeah, he has had like zero time for me. He has been stuck like listening to every single record. I mean, I heard him use the word record, which I think is significant. Yeah, which is good. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
They grow up so fast, huh?
Sometimes overnight. That's what vinyl will do to you, I suppose. You get your hands on that stuff, and all of a sudden, 20 years older, you got grays coming in.
It's a gateway drug to self-awareness or something.
Is that Vera? And maybe more people are filtering in at this point, and well, I guess we better assume our positions, huh?
Are you emceeing this?
And are you the bouncer?
I mean, I hope not.
Me too. I hope we don't have to do any bouncing tonight. I don't really want to be the MC, but it feels like I kind of am.
I mean, if you really need a dig out, it's not like it's not that scary to like announce things.
I don't know. What if there's someone says speech? What if they ring the thing and say speech?
Then I think you are obliged by the laws of the
Oh
universe to give
God.
speech. Yeah.
Well, I'm getting overwhelmed right now, I think, and I start like pacing around the room, and I well, not around the room, but back and forth a little bit, sweating.
Hey, I'll do it.
You will? At like incredulity on my face.
Yeah, it's no hassle. You can complain about the things that I said afterwards,
Oh.
and this will be a lesson for the next time.
Well, I hope it doesn't burn too much, but I'll take you up on it.
Yeah, it's fine. So I think I am like spending. I mean, I'm not really asking the question, but I mean, I think I am kind of asking the question there tacitly. How can I make it better? So I'm spending a token to basically take this cup from Lucas, basically, to do the thing that he wishes she would do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that proposition is exactly that question for sure. And Lucas at some point will probably feel comfortable in either like sharing that role or even just like it's just the pressure of the MC, and with you kind of like stepping into that responsibility a little bit, I think they would feel much more comfortable in like, working around that sort of. So
yeah,
it's great.
So how late do Cass and Penny arrive on the scene? Like the place has got to be heaving, and
No, I think correct me if I'm wrong, David, but I think we'll try to get there to be supportive of what's going on. So
yeah, absolutely.
When the vibe needs a nudge.
Yeah.
And I think we established as well in the previous scene that certainly Greg at least was quite keen to sort of get onto the party, as it were. So I think that we from their perspective, they won't have hung around for a hugely extended amount of time sort of out in the park. So yeah, I think they'll probably be there when things are probably starting to kick off properly. But yeah.
So I think we arrive and there's a good crowd. I think that, people have heard that it's wanting, that it's the big hurrah before it's over. So there's a nice crowd. It's not like it's packed, but there's a good crowd. And as Penny comes in, she's going to grab Stephanie and kind of, come on, let's go dance. And head running towards the dance floor.
Is it pretty empty at this point?
My guess is there's not a ton, especially since we said this is generally an older crowd. So the people that are there right now, probably not a ton, but I think Marcus has probably got Sam spinning some older stuff. So, everybody's going to come out to ABBA. But yeah, I think, it's just the kind of getting started, and it's that point in the party where you're not sure if it's going to explode or if it's just going to be a good crowd. And Penny will wave at Lucas when she comes in and starts dancing with Stephanie.
Is this a sort of like to be on display moment, sort of like your body is in the spotlight shivering is when it's given away? I don't really. Anyways, is this like a focus scene where you're kind of like grabbing the attention of the room, creating the energy on the dance floor?
Honestly, I was thinking of doing something with that here a little bit later.
Cool.
So no, this is probably me just letting loose, doing my regular move and letting loose.
Yeah. Nice. Cass, how much are you and Greg for dancing, do you think?
I think actually I am going to gain a token, and ask Greg what he wants from me.
Woo. I think you share another long look like the one you had shared the night before, and he pulls you around a dark corner to the washroom, to where the washrooms are, and pushes you up against the wall and kisses you deeply. Go on.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think they're absolutely going to kind of reciprocate that, and lean into the kiss.
I'm thinking for Greg that it's like just walking through the doors here was kind of permission to be himself, sort of. Like it's all about the environment, right? And when he was around his friends, he couldn't feel comfortable with that. And when he was out on the town, he couldn't let himself go. And then as soon as he's here, he's like, okay, this is what I want, right?
Yeah, cool. I like it.
Maybe someone comes out of the bathroom like Vera or somebody and just goes, oh, you know.
Yeah, perfect.
Did you want more of like an emotional scene out of that, or to dig?
No, I'm cool with that for the moment. Yeah, we can pick up again in a second, but that's perfect for me.
Cool.
What are you doing, Lucas?
I think Lucas is being like assistant bartender, probably. Just trying to be like the vibe cultivator, you know, just like being the one who keeps keeping the music in their body, kind of, so that it goes with them around the room, and people who aren't caught up in the music kind of like notice it because it's physically there, sort of. And we'll be like checking in and with newer guests and kind of taking stock of like all the different people that are there from all the different parts of this place, and kind of it's kind of like stirring the melting pot, you know. I'm trying to think of specifics. The tips say see something beautiful in everyone, so I think it's like handing out compliments left and right, like specific compliments, you know, like if someone has like glitter in their eyebrows or something, it's like that's obviously what they you know put on for this thing, so and how they want to be seen, sort of. So I think I'm going to spend a token to stand for what I believe in, and kind of just take like an hour to make this place like a place of uplifting, and a place like the place that Marcus described to me the day before, where the old ownership would look out for everyone and make it a really accepting place, I think. And maybe I'm kind of like consulting with the regulars too. Maybe I'm asking all of them questions about, you know, things that they remember from, you know, decades ago, parties here, and kind of trying to like nudge the energy in that direction.
So as the vibe starts getting this change, this kind of community build up, that sort of feeling inside here, I think I'm going to head over to Dawn and Dawn, we need more people. We need more people so they can see how awesome this place is, and then they need to be inspired to want it to stay.
I think um, I think what Dawn has been doing, while Lucas has been bartending, is like walking Joe around the place, the photographer, and like introducing him to people. Maybe she knows a lot about them, or maybe just like a kind of a vibe that she has gotten from Lucas or Marcus previously, or maybe she doesn't know them at all. But like she's been bringing Joe through the place to like photograph people and like letting him do his thing. Um, so yeah, I think that is exactly what Penny kind of finds Dawn doing. Um,
I I have an idea to bring people here, but once they get here, someone's got to make them care.
um, what do you mean? What do you mean, Penny?
I mean, if this place is flooded and everybody sees that it's the place to be, well, there's no way they could close it down, right?
Um, I mean, I think there is, and it's still probably the most likely outcome. But I mean, look at this place. Look at how much it means to everyone who's already here. So I think the more people can witness that, the better in any case.
Well, I kind of look around and I look to where Sam is and catch his eye and do this kind of back at him, and he comes down and have you been practicing? And he nods, yeah. And okay. And I take his hand and head to the front door and to the sidewalk. And I'm spending a point to pull all the attention as Sam and I just cut loose out here so that the crowd on the street gets pulled in. And I think the idea is I'm highlighting what Sam does. All of my stuff is to kind of lift and push him. And you start seeing the people out in the street at the other bars looking. You start getting a crowd coming around as the two of us just I suppose just twirl the light fantastic out there for people to see.
I think Lucas goes and opens up the back door and starts cracking open all the windows so the music just floods out into the street.
Snap, that was what I was just thinking.
maybe Lucas and Dawn both like meet up in the center of the place after they've like realize they've been doing the same task sort of, and then like just share a look sort of.
Yeah, I mean it's like late summer, right? So maybe some of those windows were open anyway, but we've pushed them all the way open. And maybe it's a question of cranking up the volume on some of those speakers.
Hit it, Sam. Or no, Sam's outside. So
yeah.
Hit it, Marcus. And what song? Wait, what? Tyler, can you give us a song for this moment? What are Penny and Sam cutting loose to?
Well, I've already said their names, so it's got to be Dancing Queen. I mean, come on, it's the Queen Mary. There is no greater disco tune ever. It's got to be Dancing Queen.
Yep, it does.
But I do think we start seeing a mass of people who start coming in. I think the place does start really hopping.
Yeah. What's Cass up to? Do
Yeah.
you go join this dancing display or?
Yeah, I think we possibly see Cass and Greg leaving the bathroom at a suspicious interval, and as they sort of head towards the music, Cass just leans over to Greg and says, "Thanks. It really means a lot to me to feel like I can be together, with another person again," and kind of gives a hand a squeeze. Spending a token for ditch my anxieties. And I think the two of us join in the dancing out on the street in front of the pub.
Nice. Donna, what do you think about Stephanie and Tyler? What are your thoughts there? I could always go just tap her on the shoulder and say, "I believe you're needed outside."
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think once I guess there's a point in that number where people join in. It's not just Penny and Sam, and I think she's probably doesn't need much prompting to join in. Right?
Awesome.
What a jam.
It's so good. Do we think we have a culminating moment since we're hitting 15 after?
Yeah. So I don't know whether we want like a brief montage during the rest of the night, or do we want like a kind of a coda, some kind of epilogue for characters. I kind of feel like a montage of the rest of the night would work pretty well.
Yeah. Pictures and feelings and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, I think since you clinked a glass of Matt, I'll do Dawn first, right? And I think there's maybe at this stage in the night, people are maybe identifying her as like running the show, right? So when it's that time of night and someone clinks a glass for a speech, people aren't looking at Lucas like he might have feared earlier in the day.
Yeah.
I think Dawn probably climbs up on the bar, right? Something suitably authoritative in her mind, at least. Grandstanding, I guess. Sorry.
I was just thinking it's probably got to be the singing bowl that I got from Penny too. That's just like piercing sound, just like cuts through the silence or cuts through the noise of the bar, and then just instead of the glass clinking, maybe it's both. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but I like it. Go on.
Yeah, and I think like her kind of speech is like almost like taking for granted that this is the end of the Queen Mary. Like this is a swan song and it's something to be celebrated. And then it's about, everyone here, whether we know it or not, shares this dream. And we kind of have to understand where we've come from in order to make a new future for ourselves. So it's like, maybe this is really a speech meant for the four of us and not for the 400 people in the bar or whatever, but it works for both.
Lucas is definitely crying for sure behind the bar probably while Don's up there making the speech.
Yeah, I think Penny's cheering as you're speaking. Yeah, I like hitting every high note you do with a big oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think Cass is like outward expressions are possibly a bit more subdued, but there's just that kind of glow in their eye as they're kind of listening to the speech.
How about later on? What's Lucas's kind of moment in our montage?
I think it might be a dancing scene, and maybe Penny is close by, and Lucas is taking to heart the lesson of like there isn't telling, there's doing that I got from Penny, and it's probably a moment where there's like a circle on the dance floor, and Lucas is just like very free flowing and kind of looks to Penny for support because Penny's always so confident with this kind of thing, and Lucas isn't quite as much. But I think they're kind of just trying to carry the energy of the music and then go to different parts of the circle and like pass it off to people who will like then like receive whatever the dance is and like carry it on and like try to just to have like a very visual sort of metaphor for this like uplifting thing, like trying to give everyone a chance to have their moment and to kind of like capture the spirit of what it's like to be in this place and to let go of inhibitions. And yeah, I think like has a dance with Vera too, like very, very classic. Classic. I'm trying to think of like I guess this is very much like know yourself for a moment. Maybe if that's a strong move I can make, kind of where it's like Lucas's attempts had always been so like their own vision unfolding in the world around them, and that had always been like the ideal of like how to make things happen. Like obviously people want this, and like this is the best way to help support my community and the people around me. But I think as the circle breaks up into just kind of like an everyone dancing together, then Lucas just has this kind of moment where he's just one among many and kind of like really knows that lesson of like we all built this up together kind of, and catches a glimpse of all the people that helped make this what it is. So I think that
I think we see Penny. She has been dancing all night, and so is her hair's kind of stuck where she's been sweating, and just has been going constantly. And I think that Stephanie has been trying to keep up with her. I think she's been dancing with her and with Sam and just moving this constant motion. And as the music is sort of rising up, she and Stephanie have stepped out like the back door to grab a little air sort of thing. And Stephanie sort of like moves in close and there's still like motion, like, you know, they're never standing still. They're just moving in that back alley. And as Stephanie kind of looks at her, and you could see in her eyes where she has just danced herself exhausted, and she and Penny look at each other, and as they turn, kind of as a little bit of a callback to the end of the last one, they move in and kiss, and there's this multicolored light that sort of surrounds them as they lift just the tiniest bit off the ground in the kiss and embrace.
Yeah, and I think the last little moment we see of Cass is they're out on the dance floor dancing on their own at the moment, and there's just that moment where kind of we kind of pull back a bit, and the dance floor is relatively full, but it's just one of those like moments where there's just an almost perfect circle formed around Cass. They're kind of out of arm's reach of everyone around them and just dancing on their own, sort of eyes closed. The light from the glitter ball, the sort of white flecks covering them as they just have just this sort of moment of peace and serenity, kind of in the middle of a crowd, but apart from it. And I also have this is definitely a Thelma Houston moment, I think. So
I love a good link. I had forgotten Marcus too. I think at some point I stroll up to the DJ booth and kind of like, you know, proffer a hand to Marcus, and if he'll come down and dance with me, I want to give him a moment to, like, you know, jam out to one of his favorite tunes or something. I say, put on your favorite, right? Maybe it's Thelma Houston.
Okay.
I think actually, I think the final song of the night, it has to be Gloria Gaynor, and yeah, and I think we kind of get that moment of Marcus dancing in the spotlight to to "I Will Survive."
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to cut. Unless anyone wants to add one more detail. No? Okay. So I will stop recording, and we'll do a debrief.